So I kind of sat on both sides of the aisle. I've been in the sort of media world and I'm in the technology world, and I've seen how these two worlds sort of talk past each other. I see the ethicists and those, the self-proclaimed ethicists, including the general public, journalists and others, EA types, who worry a lot about AI but don't necessarily know a lot about it. And then I see the technologists, where I live now, who know a lot about technology but don't worry that much about the ethics. And the twain don't appear to be meeting. So, I've been thinking about this for a while, and I was like, how do you get these two, communities to talk to each other? How do you get the technologists to think about ethics? And how do you get the ethicists to understand technology? So the problem is the incentives are entirely wrong. So the ethicists are basically paid or incentivized to think about the negatives. And the technologists, of course, because they're entrepreneurs, et cetera, are all incentivized to think about the upsides, the positives. And so there's really just no incentive for them to talk to each other. And as a technologist, I wrestled with this a lot. I basically just want to make technology because if I don't, somebody else will. And I never really think about the ethics. And so I decided that the only way to make myself think about it was to write fiction stories about it. And so every month I write a new novella about some sort of, what would happen if our technology advanced a little bit. And I think Peter, who's here, has read one of mine about AI. It was great. My new one's all about autonomous drones with no humans in the kill chain. Watch this space. Right now, only my book groups and Peter are reading them, but may get out there, et cetera. And it's been a really useful exercise, because what happens when I do this is I say, okay, here's a scenario, be it AI or autonomous drones, and then I have to create these characters. And these characters have various roles to play, and these characters have lives of their own. And then as I type and these characters do what's natural to them, we suddenly discover all the ethical issues that crop up. Because we kind of play through the scenarios, and Peter, as the world's greatest scenarioist, knows the value of this, but I'd never done it before. And fiction turns out to be a really good exercise. I would recommend this to any technologist. Write a story about what you're doing. Give the characters different roles, different personalities, different incentives. Let their lives play out in this world that you created. And it's super cool. You just type and your finger's like, whoa, she did what? And then he did that? And you have no idea. And it's actually quite clarifying. And I'm going to use less of my time, just finish up with this. Back in the day, in the early days of the Genome Project, and Ryan, who's here, will remember this well, we had, 10% of the genome budget, I think, was allocated to ethics. And it was going to be gene ethics, and we had conference after conference where we imagined what could go wrong. And then in the end, we just did it. And only when we did it did we realize what would actually be the issues and how we would play it out. And so, I think what's going to happen is that we're going to talk a lot about what could happen, then we're going to do it, and when it goes wrong, we'll fix it. And if it turned out that what we were worried about was not the right thing to worry about, we won't worry about it anymore, and we'll just course correct as we go. And you're here on ground zero as we're running through the experiment. But I would say there's basically nothing like doing to learn. And you can, my exercise in doing is actually doing the technology, but also sort of imagining it with fiction. But ultimately, in this room, with this group of people, we will do it. And next year when we come back, we'll figure out what worked, what didn't work, and we'll fix the bits that didn't work. Thank you.
Fantastic.